Hello, everybody. Sorry, I just woke up, so I'm really tired and my voice is a little quiet. But I just wanted to do my video today on um, interactive level 2 tips because I've seen a lot of people who actually hate the interactive level 2, which actually makes me a little sad because I love it. I do. I love it. I think it's so fun. So here are my tips. Hopefully they can help you and hopefully you guys can add some that you do if you also like level 2. And if you don't, maybe share why you don't, and we can figure out ways to help you. Or not. It's all good. So the first thing I want to discuss is it'll say 27 slides, but this is a little bit different because there are some slides that you don't teach, I guess, is the best way to explain it. So to go through, of course, the first slide is the introduction slide, which we all do that. The second one is the objective slide, which is more for the teacher. And I guess with a more advanced student, you could go through it, but that's really not that exciting. So really, that's kind of a slide that you don't teach per se. And then slide 3 is your reward. Slide 4 is the song. Slide 25 is the homework slide, which just real quick, all I say is I circle it and say, don't forget your homework because that's in their book. It's something that they're assigned, so you're just reminding them about it. And then sometimes at the end is also like on 5, 6, and 11 is where you remind them about their final project. If you remember, there's only one, which is nice, so you don't have to try and get them to understand there's three options and they have to pick one. And so that's really nice because there is only one. And then 27 is a blank slide, 24 is a song, which I mean, of course, you can still do the songs, but understand that those aren't the main part of the lesson. So, really, you only have about 18 slides of teaching. So that's different than your normal level 2. So your pacing will be slightly different. And so you will probably have noticed that the interactive level 2 is a little bit different than the static. And there's different information that's involved. Some seem easier, some seem harder. And so the biggest thing that I would say is to know the lesson beforehand and then also assess your student as you go. Because if your student is behind, or a lower level, then you will notice that the 18 slides, you're kind of struggling to get those done. And so you kind of have to work on that practicing of the vocabulary, the pronunciation, putting it into those sentences, practicing the question and the answer dialogue, which of course you can do with puppets and you can do with other things. I'll put that video on below about helping with dialogue with lower levels. So I'll either put it as a card at the top that'll pop up or at the end it'll pop up. But then just know, look, if you know the lesson, you can know where are places to expand and where are places that you can practice depending on their level. Because if it is a higher level student, level 2 interactive is like the best for extension and the best for conversation. And so, really finding those places where, if you're talking about um, things that they see, then start asking them what they see in their room. Show what you see. I see. Like, I love having bubbles, and then I'll blow bubbles. And do you like bubbles? And so, you can really look at the time and kind of see where you can spend that time to extend. Or, of course, lower, look for that time to practice because we are supposed to do new content, the vocabulary at least twice. But I mean, if the student needs more practice, then just keep finding fun ways, voices and puppets and pictures, and having those fun props and things to add to these lessons. I actually really love it. Now, and something that I always get that people always talk about is um, the rewards. There we go. They're like, do I need to do the interactive reward, my own reward, and a star? No, you really only need to do two stars and then something else. Now, the reward that they have on there usually correlates with the lesson and it is interactive. So I usually like to use it actually as teaching drag and drop or checking their drag and drop technique because I usually have some other reward in place. Sometimes I'll use this, maybe it's if it's the first lesson, but after that, my students get kind of bored if I keep doing the same. And so I usually have different ones. So I use it more as a review. If it's a later lesson, I'll check and see if they know the classes or if they know the different parts of the bedroom and things like that. And so I'll assess firsthand and then also assess their drag and drop ability. So that's kind of what I use the reward slide for, but definitely you can use it as a reward or in a different way. Um, Next, the verb conjugations. What I notice a lot of these students, they don't know it unless they're in a higher level. And so I will have some way, either on my whiteboard or on a Google slide or behind me or something, that really helps them have a visual reminder of he, she, it, and whatever the conjugation is, and then they, we, you, whatever those are. So then, or even in the chat box, just even as simple as having, as you teach it, have something they can refer to because sometimes they don't remember it. And then that really helps later on when they're dragging in the correct word or conjugation and using it. And we'll practice it quiet, loud, slow, fast. I mean, lots of different things. Look at that TPR. And of course, adding that TPR and other things to it to really help make it fun and get the student kinesthetically involved in that, and that will help them remember. And then high frequency words, you'll notice that you only do a couple or even one, depending on the lesson, that you'll really focus on. And so just making that fun in lots of the ways that we already talked about. And so hopefully this helps you. I really do look for to try and keep my pacing on, and then I sometimes won't extend unless they're a really high level student and a regular that I have that I know I need to do that. I may spend the first part just assessing, going through the lesson as I normally would with this student, and then look for those places to extend later on, especially because it does have the free talk slide and different things like that. So really look for that. Now, hopefully these can help you. Maybe they don't. I'm sorry. But if you have any questions about level 2 interactive, make sure to put them below. Oh, and last thing, just make sure to have fun. Have fun with it. Have them be dragging and sliding. Oh, and don't forget about the options. You can turn off the mouse. There's a timer. There's the reset the slide and erase the last line. And so those are awesome, awesome things. Okay, bye.